Well, hello YouTube. It's been a minute since I posted a video, so I figured I'd post one up, show you the something different that I picked up here recently. Got this off Facebook Marketplace. It was originally a Kubota G6200 HST riding lawnmower, really. Riding tractor, garden tractor, whatever you want to call it. You can order these things with all kinds of attachments, and plows, and snow blowers and stuff. Good running little Kubota 3-cylinder diesel engine. It was naturally aspirated when I got it, of course. Had tons of wiring issues. Went through the whole harness on it, corrected everything, basically pulled it completely apart. The brake was completely seized up. I mean, you couldn't even push it. And fixed that. I didn't like the floorboard it had on it. It had like a floorboard control, like a Harley Davidson floorboard on it right here, no joke. That's how you controlled it, to go forwards and backwards. So I welded up this custom bracket. It's a whole lot better in my opinion, a lot more comfortable anyways. Put a new key switch on it, wired the glow plugs up on it. Has two different indicators here. So when you push the button, that's a like a resistor kind of deal. It kind of glows in there. And I wired the light up, just visual to tell me, hey, I'm actually pushing them. It had an upgraded alternator. I would show you, but the hood is fastened on. Put a 45 amp alternator on it, one of the mini alternators. Put this light in here on the circuit to where if it's charging, the light's not on, but when you turn the key on, of course, it comes on. It's got an electric fuel pump, voltage gauge, aftermarket voltage gauge, oil pressure, and temperature gauge. The factory temperature gauge was junk. It would say it was completely maxed out hot, and the thing wouldn't even be 180 degrees. So what I have here is a KO3 turbo off of like a 1.8 liter Audi, or Volkswagen, I believe is what the tag says too, Audi and Volkswagen. It's just a small turbo, nothing major, off eBay. Found two of them, two twins off of Audi for about 50 bucks. I custom made the flange to weld the exhaust on. For the exhaust, I've wired the blow off, or whatever they call them on these turbos. I believe it's the blow off. Wired it shut. Might be wastegate, internal wastegate. That's what it is. Had a lot of troubles with this. I mounted it once straight to the manifold, and it was too low for the oil return that's ran over here. And what I've done is on the injection pump, I took that plate right there off and ordered a bung, negative 10 AN fitting for this line that I had purchased off Amazon. Welded it to that fuel pump block off plate, so it actually drains pretty good right here. I relocated the battery on it up front, give me more front weight in case I ever decide to do anything with it. Put the oil pressure gauge on it just so I can monitor the turbo. I didn't know if it would drop a lot of oil pressure on the engine or not. It didn't. It still holds 80 pounds oil pressure. The voltage, it wasn't charging at all when I got it, like period. I took the what they call the dymo off of it and the regulator off of it, and just put the mini alternator on it. You might can see it here, the mini alternator. And the turbo feed line, I ran in here and teed it to where my oil pressure comes off here. This side's blocked, and this goes to the turbo, the feed line. The alternator is wired. It's just got one wire going to it, one big wire, and then two accessory wires, which one is a power turn on, which basically makes it start charging, and the other one is for the light. Pretty simple little circuit there. Relocated battery cable coming from the starter, the main one. It runs right to the battery up here now, which actually worked out great. And I just built a bracket for that. Aluminum, like out of the top of a toolbox or something. I don't even know what that came out of. Just cut it, modified it to fit in there where it's bolted in, to where if I want to remove it and put the battery back up here, the cable is still long enough to go right up here. I didn't even shorten it probably a ½ inch. So, and after adding the turbo and all that, and doing the battery relocation and all this stuff, I didn't have, the hood was not going to fit. It was not going to happen. So what I done is I just tossed it to the side. It's cut up. Bad. So this used to be a dolly, and you're gonna think this is funny. This is a dolly that was messed up, and it's just a frame of one here. The support brace in the center, you know, and then I cut the handle off. So the handle is this, right here. This used to be where the wheel was on the dolly. So I just kind of threw all this together, and it actually works pretty good. It actually looks pretty good. It's very stable. I mean, I can't pick this thing up. It probably weighs 800 pounds, no joke. So that all worked out pretty good. And then my cousin over at here in Camden, Tennessee, he has a body shop, a body fab, I guess, for like dirt track cars and stuff. Went over there and had him cut me out a few pieces of old, you know, race car bodies, and kind of just made a hood. Worked pretty good. I cut it out here for this hose, the intake hose to go in. Go straight to the intake, and I just made all this basically fit. It's all custom. I mean, it's just a project I've been working on. Don't really know what I'm gonna do with it yet. Might take it to the fair and enter it in the tractor pools, put some new tires on it, of course. I'm waiting to get those. But that's what I've been working on here lately. This is what I've got going on. We've been hard at it with this. And let's see here. We'll just go ahead and start it up and let you hear it. So you just hold the glow plugs about 40 seconds or so. Sometimes less. It's quite warm in here, so it might start pretty fast. We'll see here. Yeah, it started pretty quick. Of course, the alternator's charging 14.4 volts on 80 pounds of oil pressure. And the gauge lights work. Headlights pretty bright. I got the fuel turned up probably about a half a turn out. So it does have a little black smoke. Turbo does come in pretty good whenever you're get a heavy load on it. Of course, the alternator not charging, the lights on. That's what I've had going on, guys. So stay tuned, more updates.